Michael Makarena, we filed a petition in court seeking, amongst other things, for the court to compel the investigative agencies in Kenya to investigate on a number of things that we raised question on, especially regarding the integrity of Honorable Mithika Linturi, the Senator of Meru County and a prospect in the gubernatorial elections of Meru County. Now, in what is very thrilling and a confirmation of the grievances that we raised before the Honorable Court, an affidavit was filed by the Office of the DCI, or the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, sworn by one Maurice Amwai, confirming hook, line, and sinker every single allegation of fact that we made before the Honorable Court. And one of the issues that is telling of the merit or otherwise of the grievance that we have filed before the Honorable Court is that in a blow-by-blow account that has been revealed, or rather has been averred in the affidavit that has been filed before court, is that it is beyond doubt that Mr. Mithika Linturi, the Honorable Senator, was engaged in business with the late Stanley Maore, who was found murdered in his house. And what most importantly is that the two were directors. But for a period of time between the year 2001 and about 2005, Mr. Mithika Linturi was not properly filing his returns and was denying the company some profits. And in what was estimated to be about 30 million shillings that Mr. Stanley Maore then demanded from Mr. Mithika Linturi, and perhaps aggravating the differences that they had between the two of them, it is alleged that this will probably have provoked the murder or the killing of Mr. Stanley Maore. And what Mr. Mithika Linturi had earlier on alleged that there was no pointing as to his culpability. The Directorate of Criminal Investigation has come out clearly and told us that the court arrived at the conclusion that there was enough or sufficient evidence pointing a finger at his involvement and other people who might have caused the death of the late Stanley Maore. Again, and what is most importantly, is that following the death of his business partner or associate, he caused the recording of a statement. And in this statement, he deducts some of the information that was quite fundamental or important as far as the investigators are concerned, of the deceased to himself, which indicated that, Mr. Maore is dead, you can come and eat his remains. While recording his statement, Mr. Mithika Linturi, the Honorable Senator, omits or deducts some of this message that was sent to him. He says that the message that he received was to the effect that he was only but informed of the disease, of the death of his business partner, which raises a lot of questions. Why on earth would he deduct the message that was sent to him by the wife of the deceased? So this is amongst other things that have been raised in this affidavit that goes to confirm that some of the people who have offered themselves as leaders to be elected in the forthcoming general elections, the integrity is questionable, and the electorate must ask themselves whether these are the right people to ask, to give this opportunity of leadership. I will not speak more because my senior and of course my colleague Swiga will speak more to what has been alleged, confirming in great length the averments or the assertions that have been presented before court by Makarena or Michael Makarena, that is meant to persuade court to at least give orders compelling the investigating agencies to do their work, so that people whose blood has been poured and whose death remain unanswered, or causes of death remain unanswered to this moment, we can find answers. I will speak no more than to invite my sister to go on and inform the members of the public. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. By virtue of being in conduct of a petition for the High Court, Constitutional Petition number 122 of 2022, that was filed by a petitioner named Michael Makarena, we have been in receipt of responses from the various respondents. The first respondent that we were suing on behalf of the petitioner was the Director of Criminal Investigations. That is the body or the agency that is charged with the mandate of investigations. They have filed a further affidavit from their affidavit that was dated the 11th of May. And in this affidavit, that is 29 pages long of content, responding to each and every paragraph that we had put in our application and petition, and responding to also the amendments that have been made by Honorable Mithika Linturi through his firm of representatives. They are confirming that we are no longer making rumors. The petitioner's grounds are not founded on rumors nor hearsay, and they have annexed a bundle of documents that are now going to be within public domain, because in their investigative agency capacity, they have these documents, and they have annexed these documents to actually say that whatever it is we were alleging is substantially true and is being put before the Honorable Court to be considered on merit. Their affidavit is actually encouraging that the court should give these interim orders and ensure that the DCI follows through with their mandate without any interruption from any party, especially the one whom is the interested party, being Honorable Mithika Linturi. They have given a detail. I will not speak over what my senior has spoken over the death of Dr. Maroy, but specifically and of importance is the issue of the certificates that Mithika Linturi alleges to have acquired, which consequently enabled him to vie for the seat that he had been occupying. These are questions that have been brought before the Honorable Court to be determined on merit. It is no longer assumption. They have laid out very comprehensively and even annexed documents and annexures that now are actually showing that our petitioner is not just a busybody, but had a hint of what he is trying to bring forth for the public. Being a matter of public interest, which affects the people of Meru County, we are waiting to see how the courts will give directions as to this matter. Criminal matters in general have no limitation on time. So whether the court gave directions that the matter ought to be continued investigation, at that time, even in the 90s, being in the year 2022, it does not stop the Director of Criminal Investigations or any other investigative agency to continue with the discharge of their mandate and ensure that the investigations are carried out in a manner that is just and expedient to the victims of the families. The response, the replying affidavit touches on all the issues we had mentioned, including but not limited to the death of Dr. Meru, the death of the housewife who was working in the canal, the certification of documents that belong to Honorable Mithika Linturi that are fake. And therefore, by the next court date, we will be pushing vehemently for this interim order, so that the DCI, even as they agree with us, with the petitioner, they should be allowed to discharge their mandate with extreme proficiency and as fast as possible, even as we head towards the general election.
We did file a petition by one Makarena raising 4 issues. One, the circumstances surrounding the death of Senator Mithika Linturi's business partner, Stanley, where the matter went for an inquest and the court found out that further investigation needs to be done. The Director of Criminal Investigation has responded that he is willing and ready to proceed with the further investigation as directed and the DPP should give those directions. The file was forwarded. The DPP order for the investigations on the circumstances surrounding the death of Dr. Stanley, who is still there. The matter is an old matter, and the Director of Criminal Investigation has raised the issue on the question whether criminal liability or culpability can be extinguished by virtue of the timelines. He has clearly stated, and that is the position of the law, that there is no limit as to when a criminal investigation can continue, so long as there is new evidence or there is sufficient grounds to open up the matter. The second question that we raised is the death, mysterious death surrounding the death of the house girl, one Senator Mithika Linturi, whereby the house girl was buried without a post-mortem being done. The Director of Criminal Investigation has indicated that he is willing and ready to get an order from the court so that the exhumation can be done, because the law says it's only a court of law with competent jurisdiction that can order for exhumation of anybody for the purpose of post-mortem. So the circumstances surrounding that death, the DCI is ready to investigate and provide answer to the circumstances or the cause of death of that young girl. The third issue that we raised is the question about academic certificates and professional certificates, and the question we challenged on is that the senator went to the University of Nairobi to do a degree in law, being an old student, and therefore he had no qualification, because the entry requirement for students from high school directly is a C+. Senator had a D in his, for example. So he produced a BCom degree from India, Makarena University, that he had a degree that allowed him to be admitted to the university. The DCI has provided evidence that there exists no university in India to that effect, and therefore the degree presented to the University of Nairobi is fake. Therefore, Senator Linturi does not qualify, or he has never qualified being an elected member of parliament, because that time the law was he had to have a degree. Remember, the decision to remove the degree qualification was issued in April or May this year. So that is another issue that brings out the question whether he qualifies to be a candidate to the governor's position come 2022 August. The fourth issue that has come up is that the governor, through the senator, through his advocate, has reported the fact that this is a witch hunt. Our plant is a witch hunt, is witch hunting and a busybody. The director, and he has blamed one, the governor, the current governor of Meru, Raito Murungi, and one, the Director of Criminal Investigation, George Kinoti, that they are witch hunting him for the purpose of stopping him from contesting. The director has reported that is not true. A crime committed doesn't know what political affiliation one is inclined to. So he has completely disassociated his office and he himself as a person from the allegations of political witch hunt, or political machination, or party sponsorship. Lastly, on the part of our plants, Makarena and other group has now confirmed that indeed serious issues are in this matter, and therefore proper investigations need to be done. The DCI, all the investigative agencies are waiting to see what is happening so that we see the conclusion of that matter. And lastly, on the question about the attack, the sexual attack on the lady, the DCI has confirmed the date. That affidavit belongs to him, and therefore Senator Linturi needs to respond accordingly. So the integrity of Senator Linturi is now in question, and we have annexed a bundle of documents that have been filed by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation that are heavily incriminating to one Mithika Linturi. That is the